Hi, I'm Tova with Professor Pincushion, and today I'm going to show you how to make a ruffled towel. With sturdy toweling fabric and a contrasting ruffle, this cute ruffled towel can make itself at home in your kitchen. It's also an easy gift for friends and family. Ready to make your own ruffled towel? Let's go ahead and get started. Here are some of the supplies I'm going to be using for this project. You really don't need that much. So first you're going to need some fabric for the towel. Now I'm using toweling fabric. You can look it up online if you can't find it at your local fabric store. It's already finished on two sides, so it's only 16 inches in width. I got a yard, which should be plenty to make one towel. If you're going to just use other types of fabric like a linen, or you can actually use an existing towel that you want to decorate, you can go ahead and do that as well. You just want to make sure that it's going to be something that is washable. You're going to need some fabric for your ruffle. You don't really need that much. 1/4 of a yard should be fine. I have a 1/2 yard of 5/8 of an inch width ribbon. It could be wider if you wish. This is just a decorative ribbon. Some pins, my sewing thread for my machine, scissors, and then I'm also going to need my sewing machine. For my fabric for my ruffle, I'm going to cut a piece that's going to be 3.5 inches in width and then 26 inches in length. So 3.5 by 26. For the fabric for my towel, if I'm using toweling fabric, it's already 16 inches in width, so then I just have to cut a length that's 28 inches. You can see here it already has that finished edge. If you're doing a fabric from scratch, you don't have the finished edge, you can still do 28 inches in length, but I would do 18 inches in width, just so you're able to have enough room to fold it over to create your own finished edge. Flip over your fabric so you're looking at the wrong side. Now if you're using a fabric that doesn't have the finished edges already like mine does, you're going to want to do that first. So we're just going to pretend mine isn't like that. So on each side, this side and this side, you're going to fold over a 1/2 inch, then fold over another 1/2 inch. You're going to pin and press it, and then you're going to stitch right along the edge. Once these two sides are done, you're going to do the same thing with one end only. So we're going to say this is the 16 inch and this is the 28 inch way. So these are done. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to fold it a 1/2 inch for the whole length, fold it over another 1/2 inch, and then pin and press it and take it to my machine. For this part, I'm just doing a regular straight stitch. You can see I'm sewing close to that edge. Don't forget to do your back stitching on both sides. And this is going to give you a nice finished hem on your edges. I'm using a walking foot for this one, but it's not necessary if you don't have one. It just makes it a little bit easier. You can also choose to embellish your towel like I've done here with some embroidery. You want to do this on the right side, and I would do it about this point of the project. Now if you need help, check out our hot iron transfer tutorial, and I go over how to use hot iron transfers and then also how to do some basic embroidery. Now I'm doing this again, right side and on the closest end to where it's still unfinished. So at the top of this up here is where I just did my finished edge. Now we're going to work on finishing the raw edges of our ruffle. So I'm going to grab that, place it wrong side facing up, so that's the right side. And on the two short ends, so this short end and the short end over here, and then one long edge, you're going to start folding it over. I'm going to do 1 inch. So I'm not going to do anything to this top edge, just the two sides and then the bottom edge. So I'm going to fold over 1 inch and I'm going to press it, and I'm also going to do this bottom 1 inch. Now I'm not going to go all the way to the corner. I'm just going to kind of leave it up like this and just pin this whole thing, the 1 inch, and then I'll show you what to do with the corner. On the two bottom corners, I'm going to be creating what is called a mitered corner. So you can see my corner is still sticking up here. I pinned as far as I could until I can pinch it, and this corner kind of comes together. The point is folded in half. I'm going to press it. First I'm going to press it this direction, and then I'm going to press the whole thing so the point is going in this direction. And this is so you create some creases, which is going to make it easier for creating that mitered corner. So I'm going to remove my pins and unfold it. And I have a crease going here, a crease going here, and then I have a crease going diagonal like this. So then I'm going to trim this corner off So past this line here, I'm going to trim so I leave about 1/4 inch. And I already did that on my other side here. All right, so you can see, just left 1/4 inch. I'm going to fold right on this line here, like this, and then you're going to press it. Then you're just going to refold each side. So I'm going to take this edge, I'm going to fold it to the crease, and then fold it right on the crease. And then I'm going to pin it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Fold it to the crease, and then fold it right on the crease. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a little mitered corner like that where the two folded sides come together. And you're going to do it on the other side as well. So you're going to repin everything. So I'm just going to go along and fold to the crease and then fold right along the crease this whole way. So it's going to be a nice folded edge, and then we're going to stitch right along the edge as we did before. This is what my ruffle looks like so far. If you're doing directional fabric like I'm doing, you want to make sure it's facing the right way. So I have the finished edge here on the bottom. This top edge is still a raw edge, and the two short sides are finished. Next, we're going to do a basting stitch. So all along the top of the unfinished edge, you're going to go ahead and do that basting stitch so we can start gathering up our ruffle. Your basting stitches are going to be the longest stitch on your machine. You don't have to do any back stitching. In fact, we don't want any back stitching, so we can pull it. And you can go ahead and do that at the 1/2 inch mark. Start pulling your basting stitches in order to start gathering up your ruffle. You want your length of your ruffle to be the same length as the base of your towel here. So I'm just going to keep pulling, and you want to keep making sure that your gathering is evenly distributed over the whole ruffle. So it's not just all gathered here and then it's flat for this part of the ruffle. So I'm just going to be pulling for both sides just so everything looks nice and even. Your towel should be flipped, so you're looking at the wrong side of your towel. And again, we're looking at this bottom base part. I'm going to grab my ribbon and I'm going to place it so they're going wrong side to wrong side. So you can see the right side of the ruffle right now. This raw edge of the ruffle is going to line up with the raw edge of the bottom of the towel. And then you're going to go ahead and pin both pieces together. Usually I pin the end, then pin the middle, and then pin the middle of each of that. So you're kind of easing it all together. Then you can go ahead and take it to your sewing machine and do a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Trim your seam allowance so you're leaving about 1/4 inch left past your stitches. Flip your towel over so you're looking at the right side. You're going to take your ruffle, also flip it out. So you're looking right side of this, but we still have this raw edge of the seam we just created. You're just going to want to lay this all flat because next we're going to take our ribbon and lay it right over the top, and so this will be covered. Next, grab your ribbon. If you have a one-sided ribbon, you're going to want to have the right side showing. This one really doesn't matter. You're going to take the edge, you're going to fold it under, I'd say about 1/2 inch, and then you're going to lay it on top. So it's going to be like the middle of the ribbon should land right on the edge of the raw edge here. So the top part is going to be in the towel, the bottom part is going to be in the ruffle. And then I'm going to pin the edge, and I'm going to do this for the whole length. Once I get to, so I'm going to go the whole length, making sure that my ruffle is lying flat. Once I get to this other side, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to fold my ribbon under 1/2 inch and then pin this edge as well. Next, I'm going to stitch the ribbon into place. So you're going to sew on the edge of the ribbon on all sides. So I would go along this top edge, the sides, and then also the bottom edge and the other side. You can see I'm just stitching along the edge with a regular straight stitch, and I'll show you how I do the corners because I'm coming right up onto a corner here. So I'm going to get close to the edge, and then once I'm right there, a couple more stitches here, I'm going to leave my needle into my fabric, lift my foot, turn or rotate the fabric, and then I'm just going to go along the other edge. And then I'll do the same thing once I get to this other corner. Once the ribbon is stitched on, then that raw edge and seam line is completely covered. So if we were to look at the wrong side, we have a nice finished edge here. It looks nice on the front. If you have any basting stitches showing, you can go ahead and remove those. And with that, your towel is finished. New tutorials are released weekly, so please subscribe to be notified of the next release. Make sure to check out our other videos and visit ProfessorPincushion.com to view our complete library with well over 200 sewing video tutorials, including our exclusive premium content. Our premium membership is only $5 a month for unlimited access and only available at ProfessorPincushion.com. Also, don't forget to download our mobile app for videos on the go. Thanks for watching.